This is exciting. I'm very excited.
We're here,
I'm very
baby.
excited. We're finally here. We're finally here, and we're here to talk about the voice of production, the voice of production, where we're gonna shine light on the behind the scenes of things. And so, we got myself, Shawn Severs, or AKA at Wealthy Thinking 101, and then we got Marcos, and we got
Got your
Isaac.
boy.
Yes, sir.
And we got
We're
AKA
here.
A Vision Through a Lens.
Let's
Vision
go,
through a
baby,
lens.
making
Let's
it
get
happen.
Yeah, we're making stuff happen, and this is really important for many reasons. Before we jump into topics of conversation, is a voice. The voice of production. The voice of production is here to share what it takes to put the production in for a lot of businesses nowadays. Like nowadays, if you don't have people's attention, especially if you own a business, you have a brand, somebody else has their attention. And so we deal with a lot of that. We've worked on many projects collectively or have yet to or have stuff pending. And the reason why business is blowing up or why we're so busy is because attention is the asset and people are starting to realize it. And the voice of production is here to give value on through our experiences of why people on just how things can be portrayed or be produced. And hopefully we can add some value to some people's lives based off of our experience. Because the beautiful thing is we all have experience. It's not what we're talking about. It's not a hypothetical. And if it is hypothetical, it's an idea that we're looking to implement. But I wanted to bring you guys on. You guys are one of the first. And what's exciting, I want to recap is maybe 2 weeks ago, the Super Bowl was here in Scottsdale, or Super Bowl was here in Arizona, Glendale, Arizona.
Yes, sir.
You guys had the opportunity to do some production during Super Bowl week. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about maybe how you got discovered, and then who discovered you, and then the experiences of that, and I don't know, more so what you learned. But let's just start
Absolutely.
there. Let's just dive into that voice.
So, I mean, it all started off on a Wednesday when I got the very first call from a radio host in Orlando, or from Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is. Atlanta, Georgia. Her name was Jazzy. She ended up calling me. She said she found me from Instagram, which it's like, I saw this thing on TikTok where it's like how to kind of find, or how people can find you, and I kind of implemented that into my Instagram posts.
Hashtags are not dead, bro. Hashtags are not dead.
Myth. That's a myth.
Keep them telling, bro. Tell them what happened, dude.
So she ended up finding me. I used the hashtag to basically, like, I saw this thing, like, if you want to kind of want people to find you, you have to put in like what you do and then the state you live in. So then like that way people can find you through Instagram searching, and that's how she ended up finding me. So she gave me a call, or gave me an email, and then we got on a call, and then kind of talking about everything that she was looking for coming down here for some of the events that she needed
Pop
to
in
do
that
for
DM
her
right
interview.
now, bro. That was amazing, dude. One thing that's important, bro, about what happened with that is that a lot of people, and I was me at some point, we focus a lot on what's gonna get the video trending. But really, I mean, if you're providing value with any service, any skill that you might have, you gotta be thinking, how are they going to find me in my local area, right? So maybe the hashtags aren't going to blow your video up, but there is services that people are looking for. For example, the Super Bowl's happening. Someone needs a videographer. This guy uses a hashtag. She looks up that hashtag. His profile reflects what he does.
Yep.
First
Bam.
impression.
Yeah. So like that's even like the first things that I have on my Instagram. Like when people go to my Instagram, like they want to know exactly what I do. So my first 3 posts, like since you can pin posts, are just exactly what I do, my best videos. And those are the 3 things that I have. So when people like see them, like I just get likes on them, like to this day still, because they're pinned and people see them and they're like, I want to fucking know what that guy does.
Now let's talk about how long you've been in the game. Like how long has Isaac been in the game? How long has Marcos been in the game as far as producing content? And it doesn't have to necessarily be professional,
right?
You know? That's we've had conversations. We've talked about, I remember you talking about you did what'd you do? A diss track back in the day.
Yeah,
this guy tried
back when I had a regular job, bro, I did a diss track on my general manager. I did not like that guy, so I just roasted him in a video, bro. I was like,
come on, dude.
What was that? 2019. So I was like 20 years old.
So that's where it started for you. Like, was this something when you were younger? Like, what like captured your attention for like producing content, or like, was it a movie, or is it like, where did it start, and then where did it start to build? Did you remember that?
Dude, yeah. I mean, it's been rolling for almost 10 years now. This year is gonna mark 10 years since I started uploading videos, and I started uploading them on Facebook at first, and they were just like gaming videos.
We're old, bro. Damn.
Let's go, dude. Whole decade, bro.
2013. I was literally just talking to him about this not too many days ago. It was like, I started in 2013 just because like I saw a lot of people were like, or not a lot of people, but at the time like gaming wasn't as big as it was, and I would watch a lot of professionals play video games, and then that just inspired me to play video games, and then also post my clips of me like just destroying people on the video game on Facebook. And then those were my very first videos that I ever had. And then from there, it just kind of went into doing that, and then going into YouTube, and then following people that I watched from YouTube. And then it just kind of spiraled. And in the next 10 years, it kind of just got to where I am now.
Got you. And then,
Absolutely, bro.
And then for you, like, where did it, like, what do you enjoy about production as far as like the videography, photography? Like, where did it start for you? Do you remember?
Yeah, man. So for me, it's a little more recent. I've been in the game, so probably
Beautiful.
4 years, man.
Beautiful.
4 years, dude. It was I always had the idea of like, dude, I couldn't express myself in some ways, like, but I remember anytime I made a video, it was like a whole nother way of expressing things, right? And connecting with people and filtering people that liked certain things. And so I was like, I knew this was a superpower. So I took a study abroad trip, bro, when I was at ASU studying, and I had bought my first camera, and I made a documentary about it. And dude, I emailed it out to National Geographic. Like I showed it to everybody, and bro, I started getting some amazing feedback, bro. Yeah, like, you have a great narrating voice, and I'm like, what? Like,
he's like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
And so, dude, I fell in love, dude. I just fell in love with it. And then I remember another thing was that nobody around me was doing it. But I got into high school with this guy. And so through our socials, like, I just knew he was kind of on the same wavelength and making content. So we would message each other every now and then. And dude, I was doing YouTube pretty consistently 3 years ago, trying to make it happen. And then I've transitioned over to shorts. I do fitness, and I had some success there.
Dude, we're gonna talk about that one too.
Oh man,
we've all everyone here, we've all had that. That's the beautiful thing about as far as the voice production. Like, everybody here sitting here, we've had some type of passion as far as like documenting the process, our process. It was personally, it started more so with like us, and then now we've turned it into the point where now we're servicing people. We're getting people to pay for something that we've loved to do to begin with, which is grown to think about, because like,
grow.
The internet is crazy, man. Like, think
insane.
about it. The internet's new. All this is new, but now it's starting to mature. Like, now we got people growing up with just the internet. Where imagine going to high school where, you know,
dude, I can't even imagine, bro.
it's weird. Like,
I
everybody's
literally,
like this.
bro, I can't even
dude.
imagine how many high school kids be making TikToks in the halls, or just like the culture of high school is probably so much different now with like how big social media is than like when we were in high school.
I remember
like,
when iPads just came out. Like 2013 is when I graduated high school. It seems like yesterday, but apparently
Dude,
it's 10
yeah.
years. It's 10 years today, I think, or something. Yeah, 2013. 2023, yeah. Apparently my 10-year anniversary is
when,
this
like,
year.
The first iPhone, bro, I was in 7th grade, dude. It was like, if you had one of those, you were top tier, dude.
bro.
Clout.
Literally.
Crazy
It's
times,
insane,
bro.
dude. But things just keep evolving, bro. And we keep moving, right? And what I love about what you said when you introduced the podcast is this is such a great opportunity to give a whole nother side of the story, right? A story that I feel like is still untold in 2023, bro. Because we do so much. But how does it all happen, bro? It's like when you watch a documentary on how they filmed, you know, the South Pacific, Nat Geo, and you're like, that shot took a year to get.
That's what's always.
And what about that story?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how I knew I was like a big fan of all this, because like I've always been the person that will watch something and then I would like always find myself, as like the internet's moved on, to look up the behind the scenes. I'm always looking up the behind the scenes.
Exactly.
Like, example, like you guys know the game Last of Us?
I've heard of the game. I've never played it.
Okay, so now it's Last of Us been out for a minute, but the game has been out since 2013. I think 2013 is when that game came out, if I'm not mistaken. And then they had the second one come out maybe like a few years ago. I'm not 100% sure as far as time frame, but it was at least a 5 to 10 year gap as far as when the second game came out. But they finally made it. The game was so good, the story was told so well. They made an HBO series, and it's basically revitalizing that game. But long story short, what they do at the end, which is so critical, because people like to understand like the intent, because they wanted to, a lot of people that love the game, they wanted to make sure the game aligned with the they made sure it aligned with the HBO series. They didn't take anything or mess anything up.
Okay.
But what they do is they show the behind the scenes or the intent of like the story writer, the director, you know, the
Right.
production of like how they had to change this up. But it's always infatuated me since I don't know about since I was, you know, a youngin', ever since I was able to turn on the camera to just understand how a movie is made or how Avatar took 10 years to make.
Yeah, man. And I'm kind of curious about how you started, man, because I look at you and I know we haven't known each other for that long, but
It feels like
I
years,
feel like,
bro.
right? Like, that's what I'm saying. And it's like, I feel like your approach is so broad. Like, I don't know, I can't attack you in one angle and be like, this is exactly what he does. I feel like you think so wide and you see the whole picture and this is what this is. But how did you like get started with this?
That's a great question. As far as like production, like if I had to condense it, so I moved to I'm from Michigan. I'm from Detroit, Michigan originally, and I graduated high school in 2013, and then I got involved with network marketing in 2014, the end of 2013. I had a work job.
Early on, my man.
Early.
10 years.
I was in Buffalo. I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings right after high school. Didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do. Wanted to run track, but grades were crap. And so that's what I did until I was running college, as far as to eventually walk on and accept one of my scholarships.
Right.
So until my grades were up, and then in one of my classes, some guy he invited me to go to his house because there was an event there, but he didn't want to tell me, and so I was like kind of weirded out because in network marketing, people have a product. Or the big thing about network marketing is recruiting people. You got to get people to come, like you got to come check out the meeting or the presentation to sell said opportunity or product. But it was a healthy energy drink. And one of the best things that honestly, if I didn't go to that meeting, I probably wouldn't know you guys. That's the crazy thing about the compound effect. Like this first episode has a compound of where we're going to go as far as with the production and the meaning and the people that we meet. But that meeting would discontinued me even stepping a foot in Arizona, because at that meeting, I had people that came from Arizona. And they flew in that day and flew out the next day, but it was people making like money selling healthy energy drinks. They're like, why are you drinking bad energy drinks? Start drinking healthy ones and get other people to drink a healthier version. It's called Vima. Vima was the formula, but
I've heard about that
Verb.
company, dude, back in the day when I was in high school,
Yeah,
bro.
I was one of the people.
I remember
slinging
that.
It. That's how I got good as far as like talking, and that's where I got good as far as public speaking, or at least started to, because I was terrified in high school. I was friends with everybody, quote unquote,
Right.
But I never got over as far as like this. Like this is terrifying to a lot of people.
Right, and I can see that, bro, because just in the times I've been to your apartment, there's not a person that works there or that maybe, you know, frequents a certain area in the apartment that doesn't say hi to you. So then I'm like, all right, what's up, bro? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, you're doing something right, bro. And so it's cool, bro. It's honestly cool to see it in person too.
Thanks. I've never heard about myself.
I'm gonna be straight up, man.
So you would say that event that you went to was kind of what started your career in the marketing space?
That's where it started in terms of like, in terms of just building relationships, you know, asking more questions than I am, you know, giving information. Like that's what helped me be a person to start to collectively bring things together like this. And then it compounded from there. Because when I had a time, and I could probably find the pictures, but I had an event because you have up lines and down lines. You know, people call those things pyramid schemes. They look like it to an extent, but like the company, how maybe the message was portrayed is what might give people that perception. But the concept is, it's legit in terms of like what it is objectively. But I would bring people, and then one time I brought the most people because I went to like 3 different high schools. My mom took me to different schools because she was like, it's grades, it has to be this. I was just horrible at school. It's just what it is.
She tried to find the right formula for you, bro. But
exactly, like my path, like everything started for me with that. I went up to different school districts in the same area, and then I just hitting up people about like, yo, you should come to this event. And I never asked for anything for anybody. And then when I did speak, people were like, okay. So one time I had the most speakers, most people come to one of the meetings that was presenting this opportunity, and my upline was like, "Hey, Mike O'Connell, I'll never forget." He was like, "You should speak." I was like, "Speak? You just told me I had to bring the people, dog. Chill. I'm not trying to go. I'm not trying to speak. I just told I was had to bring people, and that's how I can make money."
Yeah.
And then that was one of the times where I had that Eminem, like, this is gonna be a perfect edit. I had that Eminem. I looked in the mirror. I had that vomit on my chest, mom's spaghetti,
Hey,
and I was like, I guess here we go. Terrified, that's where I first started. And then that was around the time that I had to like make that decision, because at that time, my mom got sick. She got sick as far as with cancer and stuff. So I was like, this is it. Right. I was like, I got to go ahead and bring it home. And then from there, I had meeting after meeting. And
Dude, I feel like, because I've heard this a lot, is like there's always that kind of one time where like you do something and it ends up just kind of blowing up everything else up. Because I mean, I just heard it with you, and then I've heard it with other videographers, and then like even with like how my kind of start was too. That same exact way, bro. Like, I mean, you know, FaZe Clan. I talk about FaZe Clan all the time. Yeah. So like the time that I would say like my very first event that kind of started my career was it was that same exact day when FaZe Clan was coming to Arizona to just do like a meetup in Arizona Mills Mall. And on that same day, one of my buddies now, Daniel, he was the very first guy that I met in like the fashion industry here. This was 2020, so I think I had just met you.
Yeah,
I think we met January in 2020.
Yep.
And this was June of 2020. So like he had invited me to that production, and it was on the same day and the same exact time that FaZe was gonna be at Arizona Mills. And of course, that's where I had the choice. I was like, fuck, like I can either go to Arizona Mills and meet FaZe Clan. And I had been working with Flip for a little bit, and I was in the real estate game for a little bit. So I had a little bit of experience, but I didn't have a lot.
Right.
And like I either had the choice to go there or to go to the production. And that was like the first like big production. We had red cameras, we had all the lights, we had studio, like real production people, like assistants and all that. And like
cool.
I just took that choice to go to the production, because like I was like, I think this is probably gonna benefit me more in the long run than like meeting FaZe Clan
chess,
now.
not checkers, baby.
Than meeting FaZe Clan now. And then from there, that's when like everything like kind of blew up for me, because then I met Corella and Co. and they kind of gave me my first start to my first like video. And then from there, it kind of just kept building. But it was that same exact thing where it was like that one choice that everybody makes can literally just change your perception on everything.
I feel like the universe puts you there, and it's like what happens is like the difference between if your dreams come true or not is you're in that position, right? How do you react?
Just got to make the right choices.
You jump in the pool, or are you gonna go get your blanket? Go into your.
And after doing it so many times, which is beautiful. Like example, like I did that opportunity. We've all had opportunities collectively, but after looking back, now you almost have to keep doing like calculated risk. Like you just bought your new camera. I remember you saying like, yo, I just put this down. I put my credit card down on the camera. That was like a level up. It might have been like the most riskiest thing, but like you doing that, you probably haven't even seen the return on it yet, which probably already have. But in terms of like what's gonna looking back on that decision 6 years from now or 6 months from now, where are we gonna be? Like,
dude, but I had told you, remember that? Like, I had told you when I wanted to get that camera. I saw
we were talking about when you went to go see Anthony. You're like, bro, you got it.
I got it in August. I got it in August of 2020, of last year, 2022.
Yep, you were pumped.
So like that's when, dude, like I had messages, you had messages, like everyone. I was like, this camera is going to change everything. And I mean, it's so far it has, but I mean, it's just because all the work that you put into. Because like if I would have just gotten the camera, but like just stayed doing the exact same things I was doing with Flip, like I don't think much would have came out from it.
When you called me, bro, dude, that's a whole.
I called you. I was like, bro, I got my camera, and then like I started hitting up just a bunch of people I started to know and be like, yo, I got this new camera, better quality, everything's gonna be so much better. And then from there, it's just like it was just building up the reputation from there.
Dude,
I mean, it's still the hard work. You still got to put in the work to find the clients, but like I knew taking that leap of getting that camera, because that literally drained my whole bank account, bro. I'd saved up for like the whole year to get this camera.
And I mean, it's crazy because I was witnessing it firsthand, like how he was like getting his camera, and then me and him kept just talking about like, dude, we got to work together. And then I remember he one day he's like, hey, can you meet up at Mod Pizza?
Or no, that like when I met you at your pool party was the first day where I had kind of told him about like this vision that I had that I wanted to create about me and him just like like tackling video work
Vision
and
through a
finding
lens.
clients.
Yeah.
Vision through a lens, bro. That's
And
when,
he's
that's when I
like,
told him
bro,
about it.
he's like, I'm getting all this influx, bro. Like, we gotta, he's like, eventually it's gonna be too much. Like, we gotta handle this together. And then
Sure
he's
enough.
like, we gotta get a place, bro. And then, dude, I kid you not, bro. I was broke, dude. I
Yeah.
was so broke.
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, we'll figure it out. He's like, bro, I got rent for the first couple months or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then we end up, his car breaks down.
I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? So
Yeah.
then you're like, we had like looked into an apartment, but then we couldn't get it for a little while because he had to
Yeah, I
fix his
remember
car.
that. I remember you told me that. Yeah.
And I was like, bro, in this next month, I'm gonna make some bread, bro. I'm gonna set up, and I was selling solar, bro.
Vision
so
through
I
the lens,
busted
baby.
my butt, dude, and I got good amount of deals during this time period, to where I made enough money to be like, I moved out with this guy, you know, and then I took a risk too. I bought a $2,000 camera. That's like, dude, that's rent for almost 3 months.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy to most people that might be listening to this, but that
Yeah.
goes into, that's kind of tie it back. Cause like, this is the thing. Cause like we're taking all of these risks, but the one thing I wanted us to circle back on is like all the businesses and the people that we work with, there's certain categories, and I'm sure we could like probably like narrow it down, but you have people that get it and understand it. Like you guys work with Jeremy, you know, he's already on it. He's been doing content forever. Funny enough,
Absolutely,
I
man.
make so much
I
content.
was working
dude.
with him, you know, back in 2017. It's crazy, just full circle how certain people and circles just keep reoccurring in terms of like, you know, we're working together and all of a sudden you guys will happen to work through him. Shout out to Fame, you know, film
Fame?
media expert. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
he put it in the group and then he tagged that up.
That was an amazing
Yeah,
opportunity.
shout out
man.
Fame, dude.
Yeah, shout out to
Isaac comes
Fame.
home, he's like, you ready, right? I'm like, let's
What'd he
go,
say?
bro.
You got- I got like, well, because
said-
like it was like had to be right away. Like they wanted us there at like 11. So
He's
I
like,
was-
get ready, bro. Let's go.
I was like,
Yeah.
we got a gig, bro, and then we just headed out to Scottsdale
That's one
Quarter.
thing, bro. I'm like, I'll never say no to an opportunity, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll learn. I'll do what I have to do to make it happen, and that's just the mindset you need, bro. You know,
100%.
put the work behind it.
And this is why it's so important because, like, again, I was going to the point of like, there's different categories. There's people that get it, which is great, but there's a lot of businesses that don't get it, and this is why the
Yeah.
voice is so important because our professions, from the directing standpoint, or maybe on my side to to production side, and all of it collectively is so important, especially if you got good
Dude,
business. Especially if you got
yeah.
good business. There's people that have good business, but nobody knows who they are.
Dude, I got a
Absolutely.
couple that we can talk about, dude. But no, like remember when we went to just New Mexico, bro? Like that older gentleman that came in from LA, he was going to like
Yeah,
Pittsburgh or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And he was like, when my daughter took over my company, like she just started doing a lot with social media,
Yep.
and now we're doing better than ever.
Yep.
And it's like dude, like if people really just put that commitment into making content, of course, like you have to pay for it, and that's what people really get scared about because that's money, emotion. But like they just really got to just trust the process that we know what we're doing, and we know that we can kind of scale their business through social media and through marketing and through ads and all that.
Because if you don't pay us, your competitors probably will.
Yeah,
And then your
absolutely.
competitors are gonna,
Or they're staying in the same place.
your
They're not
consumers
moving.
are gonna go ahead and go to them because they took the time to invest into their business. And this
Yeah.
is why this is so important. It's bigger. Like every company nowadays, especially a lot of home service and local service, this is important because they need to understand this. They don't do it, their competitors do. You can control your narratives or your market's industry. Like Anthony, he controls his industry in his
Right.
market. There's maybe 100,000, 150,000 people in that small town. He's like, there's more people than that, man. His town, it says 21,000. I'll never forget because I always watch the videos that we made. But 21,000 people in like Gallup, New Mexico, and he's the only person out of all the shops that there might be 30 that are running content, and that's what's helping him just clean up because he's got personality. He's letting people know about the deals. He's on camera. He's sharing the shop culture. And most importantly, he's
Right.
building like the biggest trust for this brick and mortar business. And this is why he's had like the biggest months of his whole
that's
career
awesome.
out of 8 years down there because of the voice.
That's awesome, bro. Congrats, dude. Congrats to Anthony, bro. I'm super happy. That was just like a fun weekend.
Teamwork makes
or
the
a
dream
fun
work.
week
That's
in,
awesome,
in
bro.
general, bro. Like hanging out with those guys, just seeing New Mexico and just like kind of exploring around there, dude. It was like super fun just make content, just kind of
Gallup.
do our thing, bro.
Like,
Gallup.
what's just the name of that, bro?
It was different.
Gallup, New Mexico.
It was different. It was different. But yeah, it was fun. But like, that's just one business. Like, there's 32 million business. There's probably 32.5 million businesses. I think the stat I looked up. Sue me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure we'll edit it in there at some point. But there's still people that aren't taking this serious. Especially, again, I want to talk specifically. If you have bad business, this this isn't gonna necessarily help you. There's so many people that have like, is this gonna help change my business, change my life? Not necessarily. You need to have a great business in place to make this a long-term play, because I've been in situations from a production side, so not only the direction or the production, but I do the advertisings. And so when it comes down to the businesses that we work with, or they want to hire us, they need to understand that this is a component, not the answer. Some people, it might be the last piece that they need, but they need to understand where they're at in terms of their business to really help them grow, because you need this. Otherwise, you're going to get phased out by your competitors, and your business is going to be lost.
They're just not going to change. They're just going to stay behind when everybody else is like pushing forward, because it's a whole new world with like internet marketing, dude. I hear it all the time with everybody we work with. They all say like you're literally in the best industry to be in. Like everybody needs video marketing right now.
I'm going to say it right now, man. If it's 2023 right now, if you're looking at videography, marketing your business, promoting online as a luxury for your business, you're going to get left behind very soon. 100%. And so it's so important.
It's necessity, not accessory.
Being able to access millions of people's attention through a video,
bro. And people just also don't know that like hiring like one-off people, like one-off groups, is hell of a lot cheaper than making a full-on commercial where they'll have like all professional equipment. They'll be charging you 20 grand just for one video, when like we could be doing it in a smaller group, but make it just way better and more valuable, and not as like.
Or you could throw 20 grand where you have the whole squad come in for a week, and then you have content for 6 months.
Yeah, absolutely. And people that may not have the biggest budget, just remember that as long as you have a skill and you have value to provide for somebody, it's just you being on somebody's screen providing that for them, right? So that quality can always get better. It's all about just getting started with what you can. Right. And ultimately, that's what we're trying to help, businesses that are just starting out, or people that are really well established,
Yeah, or just
especially the people that are established, and that brings it back full circle. We're gonna go into the Super Bowl as far as like what you guys worked on. But like all I was thinking about while the Super Bowl was happening, because Arizona added an extra 1 million to 2 million people, but all I was thinking about, every business that I walked into, especially restaurants, it'd be a perfect opportunity if they had video of them letting people know that don't know their business existed, saying like, hey, Super Bowl weekend, Super Bowl discount, and then have somebody like myself, Storyline Marketing, our team, run ads to something that you guys create, put that together, and then the message to help them take in the business. I promise you, if I had to guess, there's probably less than 1% of people that actually took advantage of the opportunity where they were running ads and letting people know that their business was there. For people that never have been to Arizona, these are the opportunities that people are missing out on, especially Arizona. Arizona's popping. Like, there's always stuff going on every single year.
I love this state now, man. I always wanted to leave. For 5 years, I've been saying I'm going to leave Arizona, man.
Yeah, dude,
I'm telling you right now, I want to stay here, dude. There's so many opportunities.
It's growth, bro.
It's a great place to be.
Arizona's just
honestly.
getting big. Yeah.
It's growth season right now. It's growth season. I'm like, man, like that's what I'm saying. Like, me living at the Optimum, I'm like, it's just so much opportunity just come out of that area in terms of just the people, like everybody there, the people
absolutely,
I live with.
Man.
And so going into the Super Bowl, so you guys, going back to, you say you met, so this person reached out to you, Jazzy McBee.
Yep.
You guys, let's talk about the gig. So she reached out to you. I want you to film. She works for this. She does radio. Has a radio station.
Radio host. Yep. Yeah. I think it was 90 Streets 94.5.
Okay.
Streets 94.5.
Yeah. And what was the gig? Like, what was the opportunity? What was her request on this content that people say that is irrelevant as far as these closed-minded beings? We're gonna open their mind up as far as what she needed you to do. From somebody that she found that lived here. Like, what did she? What was the?
So the first one was on a Wednesday. Was the Super Bowl Soulful Celebration. Okay. So I wasn't exactly too sure what the event was about. Like, I didn't stay there for like the actual event. Like, we just did a lot of like filmings for the red carpet. She had to do interviews for a radio show. So they were just, I guess, like some choirs that were like singing for the Super Bowl, and then like they were also like kind of preaching about the gospel and like the Bible and all that. So that was the very first day.
Tell them about your media pass, bro. What it said on there, bro.
Yeah, bro. I mean, the media pass, just Super Bowl. It had the word Super Bowl on there, media. So it was just super dope just to like walk straight in, bro.
He came home with that thing. I was like,
bro, yeah.
Hang that up. What's that? Don't worry about it, baby.
No, but how I was mentioning, I did mention like on that same, I think it was on a Tuesday I got the call or Wednesday, but on that same day, dude, like I got 2 different calls I got one from Jazzy, and then I got another one from I mentioned to see you, it was the Playboy guys.
So that was separate. That wasn't the same.
That was a different person. So they also called me on Wednesday, and they wanted me to like make a video for like an event that they had featuring Ludacris. And it was going to be held at the W, and then they had told me what they were looking for, and we got on a call, and she was telling me everything. But turns out like the day before, I guess like the W wouldn't allow a videographer. I can't flip off the cameras, or else I would. But yeah, so I didn't end up doing that one. That would have been a really big one on Sunday, dude. Just to like,
and that's gonna happen.
Playboy bunnies and just like Ludacris, be on stage with Ludacris. That shit would have been crazy. But
yeah.
No, so then Friday, I think that's the first day that you came with me, right? To the Super Bowl one. That one was
NFL Wives fashion show. He's like, we need a photographer and a videographer. Mm-hmm. So I I'm a photographer. I pull up. Bah, 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 bah. I'm shooting, bro.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. And so it was dope, man. And who the girl we were working for, she was like, look, I'm going to be on stage for like just a little bit. So I'm going to smile. Uh-huh. And when I smile, you better capture that shot. Dog. And so that's the key in photography. It's like, I did more video than photography up to this point, but I know enough now, especially to like take some good photos. So then I remember she's on stage, and I'm just real quick checking an old photo, and Isaac goes, "Hey, bro!" And then right when she's smiling, I'm like, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, okay. Get it quick.
But dude, there's just those moments in production that are key, right? So we have to have a lot of attention to detail too.
And then
great experience.
What was cool about that one too is like since we had our own like little badges to let us in like the exclusive areas, like it was funny because like on one side of the mall, one side of Scottsdale Mall, like was where like all just the regular people that were passing by, shopping, going through. But on the other side, that's where they had like all the NFL players and like their wives and like everybody that was kind of there being.
You got
in the
shot
event.
for like Baker Mayfield. Like I know that's just funny. You know nothing about any of the guys that.
I didn't know a lot of those.
I was like,
people,
hey, bro, this guy's pretty big, man. Like,
that was
I don't know much football, but I'm like, I know this guy's big, bro.
No. That was the Rolling Stone.
Baker was a first round draft pick. As far like he had a crazy. He was on like 2-3 different teams during the season. Like it was just, and he was like bad. Like it was a bunch of just chaos. But like
absolutely,
he got a.
Dude, that Rolling Stone event was like super dope too, because that one was the one that Travis Scott was hosting. So. We started off again just at the red carpet. She was just asking interviews for just some of the people walking down. One of them was Baker Mayfield, and then the other guy was something Robin. He's the one that he sings like hey hey hey.
Oh, Robin Thicke.
Hey,
yeah. He's so charismatic, bro. When you see him in person, you're like, dang, this guy's got some nice hair, bro. Yeah, you're like, this boy's slick with it.
Yeah,
they're like, do you want a drink? He's like, no, I'm performing in 30 minutes.
Dude, yeah, he was
professional, bro.
That dude, it was cool. And then like also just part of that, like also having our media pass, like we were able to like get in the VIP area, dude.
Bro, that's crazy. So me and Isaac, we're chilling outside of the VIP because we're like, we're already here, right? And we're shooting photos, and then one of the security guard goes, you know that with your pass, you could like get all the way up front and get some better shots.
I'm shooting.
So I was like, Isaac, I need a couple of drinks in me, bro, because I'm about to work my way all the way up.
Drinks for free, dude.
So I had like a couple of drinks in me, bro, but I'm like, I started working my way through the sections of like, not where people were, normal people. Mm-hmm. It was like G-Eazy and his homies. Mm-hmm. I start walking through their section, and then I get to a point where I can't even walk. There's like couches. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, I got to get upstage. Travis Scott, he's coming up in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So then there was a bald guy that looks at me. He's like, he sees that I'm contemplating jumping over the couch. He grabs me from the back and goes, let's go, bro. And he pushes me.
Because he sees our cameras, bro.
He sees me with my camera, so he helps me.
It's like a superpower, dude.
Yeah.
It's honestly like a superpower.
You just hold it up, bro. Hold it up and look serious. You can get anywhere, bro.
Dude, you guys have power, bro.
Yeah, dude. So I get up to the front of the stage, dude, and I'm like, dude, I got Travis right here, dude.
He was right.
He was like, what's up,
dude? And dude, one thing is like seeing Travis's videos, hearing his music, which is amazing.
I'm the highest in the room.
Hey,
but being like up there,
and when he's up, he's such a great performer, dude. And so when you're up there, he's performing, and you know you're getting like the best shots of anybody in the room, probably because you have him right here,
right there,
dude. It's probably one of the best experiences. It's like adrenaline, dude.
Yeah.
And so I have a love for photography now, just from those photos, and And I've had people reach out to me, and I've taken photos, but videography's been my main focus. And so now it's just like, photography is beautiful too. You know, I experienced the same thing.
They both complement each other. You need both. And to go into the point, like, if the super, like Jason's supposed to be here. Jason right now is doing some firework right now. He's on production.
Shout out, man. I seen that. Yeah. Congratulations, my man.
Straight up killing. And that's the thing. He's always been in that way. Like today he's shooting with Dean Graziosi and Trenton Shelton. These guys are big wigs. And if these people are making it priority, because during Super Bowl weekend, there's a lot of people that got gigs. All I saw, if I walked down Old Town, I drove through Old Town, all I saw are just camera rigs. So if these businesses or these personalities have cameras, like, not even the business, but like, what do you think somebody that hasn't even given the time of day, like, what do you need to do? Whether you have somebody part-time, whether you have somebody as an intern, whether you go ahead and hire somebody collectively like you guys or the whole spiel as far as all of us together, this is why this is so important, because people don't comprehend it. We got to see it firsthand.
Yeah. And
to go into, like, what do you think you guys learned out of all that? Like, when you go into Fashion Square and you actually going into all the different events, like, what would you say some big takeaways were in terms of just experiencing that? Because obviously you guys got experience, so like, but every environment you learn something new, especially that, like, at that stage. It just seems like it keeps getting bigger and bigger every single month, every single year. Like, what would you guys say your takeaways were?
One thing for me is and it really hits you when you're at these places.
It's just so bad.
That tattoo's sick, man. I'm just gonna say that, but what I learned and what really came into perspective for me is that being around people that have access to everything, right? Live a lifestyle that most people couldn't imagine. And you being there, coming from whatever background you're from, all I'm going to say is you're one conversation away from being in the position that you want to be in this world right now. So whatever skill, whatever thing you offer to the table, just learn to talk to people. And you will be amazed where you end up. And I'm thankful for this guy, bro. You know, giving me some good opportunities, and we work together. He's cool with it, and bro, we're a good team. So
yeah,
it's just like surround yourself with the right people, and when you're in a place where there's people that you know have access to what you like, have the conversation.
Yeah, so we've been having, so far the year's been pretty good with some big gigs. We did Barrett Jackson at the beginning of the year, so
I remember that. Yeah.
That one was the Arizona Fashion Week collection of the year. So that one, again, super cool. We got our media passes for Barrett Jackson. I got like so many media passes now.
How many other people, how many other film individuals you think you're with? Like, how many collectively?
That was a lot. I mean, just in the section that we were in, I saw at least 10. But these guys were like the real deal too. I saw 2 people with red cameras.
The Barrett Jackson guys, they don't mess around.
FX3s, A7S3s. Like these guys also like everybody there was kind of big deal.
They're loaded, bro. It looks like they're carrying weapons, bro.
They are.
Yeah, they got
one
the
camera on
cameras,
each
bro.
waist side. They're holding up a rig, dude. It's insane, man. These guys are machines.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I love to hear what their story. You know what I'm saying? Because they seen so
Take a
much.
seat.
Exactly.
Right.
But that's the thing, like that, and I'm glad you guys said that. I was gonna say something fire. So you guys doing that, like, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Damn.
I was about to say something crazy.
Come on, host. Come on, man.
I know, right?
No, we were at the point where you were like, what'd you take away? I said mine.
No. I know I was gonna ask. Not even ask. What I'm proud to say, because like a lot of people like to use excuses. You know,
Right.
One thing that's in common about all of us, we got some melanin on our skin. You know, like a lot of people like to say opportunities are selective, but we put ourselves in position and to develop a skill that the market needs. And regardless of what we look like, our skills are speaking for ourselves.
And it's always just learning, like really just learning, dude. Because like I've never stopped learning. You know, I'm always trying to like know what's next. Especially that's why I'm going into After Effects now, because that's something I have not tackled, and I'm slowly getting into it. But that's just how it's been throughout my whole time. Like since I've started making YouTube videos, since I just started doing video more as a business, it was just more of like, what can I make better? Every Instagram reel I see, every video I see, I always take little bits. Like, how can I implement this in my video? I never think like, God, that guy's so much better than me. Never, bro. It's like, what I just saw, like, how can I do that, but not copy it, of course, but like just make it in my own video and make it just work for me. But it's always just learning off other people too.
Dude, one thing I see a lot with what he's saying is that, dude, what's so hard in life is that there's so much, right? And we don't know how to filter what we want to do. And we're getting attacked in so many ways because life in general is just very complex. But to really take a skill to the next level, you have to have a very simple mindset. And it's, how can I grab videography, filming? How could I grab editing? And how could I every day just get better, right? But you have to focus on that one thing and stick with it, right? And eventually you get to a level where you can provide a service to anybody, right?
Yeah.
Your work speaks for itself, but it's like, maybe it's lonely and not everybody's telling you where to go or how to do it, but you just have to get 1% better every single day.
Yeah.
That's what this guy has done for years.
100%.
That's what I'm doing right now. For the last 3 years, I've just been trying to pick up. Anytime he's had a gig and he's hit me up, hey, bro, this is happening. Bro, I don't care about getting paid. I just want to be there surrounded by these people.
Yeah. 'Cause that's where we started. Like, even with you, like, from where you were getting paid now to what you were doing before, you already were doing stuff by yourself, but the stuff where you were getting paid when you started working together with Flip to now, there's a lot of stuff you did free to little to no
Dude,
pay.
I was getting like $50 a video, and that was like filming, recording, editing.
Come on, give me that price again, bro. One more time, bro.
Everything. Dude, I mean, it's a lot more now. We're talking like 10 times more.
Dude, one thing I want to tell people right now is, if you're aspiring to do anything like this, is see the value in not getting paid at first. See the value in being surrounded by the people that are doing what you want to do, and just be a sponge. Soak up all the knowledge from these people. You know what I'm saying? And remember that the first time you get paid for doing something you love, you're winning in life. And that's going to grow with your skills. Pay's going to grow. Everything's going to grow.
Yeah.
And so it's just starting, you know, and having a little vision for yourself. So
Yeah.
Especially, go ahead.
Then just knowing like stuff isn't always gonna go right too, you know, because like just in my time, like, dude, there's been multiple times where I thought about quitting, where I thought like, why am I still doing this? But like, it was just like, if I didn't do it, what else would I do?
Dude, we don't even have to say anything, but we just had so many times where we're like, what am I doing? You and I in the room, you already know what we can potentially talk about in that realm, but we don't even have to. But in general, where it's just like, today is just, this day doesn't, this does not serve me today. This client's acting like this. This is happening like that. But that's part of it. And we speak with so much excitement because we enjoy the progression of it. Like, if we can just keep that, regardless if you love something or not, because like there's people that have the ability to do stuff that they love, but there's a lot of things that along that process that you don't necessarily love to do, but it's needed
for now.
It's needed now. You got to sharpen that sword. If you're not, and that's why I mess with you guys, because everybody in that group has an obsession with sharpening their sword, whether that be with their fitness. In this case, when it comes with the camera, directing. Every time I try not to spam the voice production group chat because I see so much fire stuff. I'm like,
you send some good stuff in there, bro.
I only want to do 3. I only want to do 3 today. I literally tell myself that because I'm like, they're gonna leave the chat.
Every day I wake up, I'm like, dude, I gotta be more involved in this chat somehow. So I'm gonna put forth that effort, bro.
Yeah, just anything you see, because like I get inspiration. That's what I'm saying. I get inspiration. Like I saw Jason stuff. I was like, that's why I had to put it in the group because it was like dope. It was like, and on top of him doing it for himself and leverage. But also something we're gonna be able to talk with Jason about as far as next time when he's available because this is big wig stuff. What they need this production for, all the people that are working with, this is gonna be able to help them make money and change their lives. Like what we create, like the content that you filmed and I was helping him direct for Anthony in that sense, has helped him change the trajectory of his business and what he can do. Yeah. As far as doing that specifically, as well as every individual piece of content that we've made and what we're gonna make. And that's the thing people don't necessarily comprehend that's so important when it comes to the voices and the production.
And like the thing is too, it's like it's not just about making videos, because like we've like door knocked a ton of like businesses now, like just offering our services, and there's a couple that are like I have a camera, like I do it myself, but it's like it's more than just recording. Like you have to know the behind the scenes on how making videos works. You know, like exactly. Like you can post a video to YouTube and just like it can go, of course it can go to anybody, but not anybody maybe would want that service. Maybe like Joe, doesn't even care about whatever he's seeing. Like you have to like target it and like put that video towards whatever that business actually does for like what they do. So then when people see that video, they'll be more intrigued to click on it to know more about that business. So it's more than just recording. It's literally, you have to know about your analytics. You have to know about the watch time. You have to know about like just everything about who's watching your video and how to make it like targetable.
Right. It's not gonna happen in one day, but it's like, are you doing your homework? Like, are you taking photos? You look at them, You take a video, you look at it, you do your research, you start researching platforms, how social media works, and it's just a compound effect of years of doing it. But it's just a process. You have to accept it,
right? And that's what brings this full circle, to go back to the whole point, because this is why this is so important, because you could be somebody that doesn't necessarily know where to start. You can either, from a person that wants to be behind the camera, gave insight on that. And then the next portion of it are businesses that don't necessarily want to necessarily learn how to do it. You want to go to places. In this case, the voice production is going to act as a hub for you to learn from professionals and to be able to hire professionals. It's not it, and these people you can hire to condense that learning curve where, okay, you can not only learn, but you can learn from professionals and get paid to get quality work. And this is why what we're doing is so important, because people don't necessarily want to learn it, and that's okay. And this is where you need to be resourceful using your tools. But the worst decision is no decision. If you don't make a decision on making it happen, your competitors are going to hire us, and you're going to be like, why did my business go out and the recessions hit? Like a lot, like example, like think about it. Anthony, I keep using him because that was the most recent thing we worked on.
Yeah.
But Anthony, he's supposed to be, we're in a recession, but his business is thriving. And part of his great business, he's got great service. And we've been doing a phenomenal job of telling the story of his business and gaining the trust of business in his market to where he's thriving as far as the services that he offers, as far as like his repairs. And so that is a testament of his great service combined with our production.
Because people like see that his stuff is like good. He does good work. Like he's just a genuine guy. They start to know more about just the inside of that company than just like, oh, it's an auto shop, Like, think about it. How does someone supposed to figure out, like, if I'm a consumer, if you guys just scrolled on Facebook, see, this is where I see the editing being fired. Like, you scroll on Facebook, and every time you scroll on, like, these platforms, people are like, I need a good auto mechanic shop. Like, there's Facebook groups. I'm in Facebook Phoenix Living and, like, Scottsdale Living. People always go in there to get referrals from people to say, hey, does anybody know a trustworthy podcast studio to get work done? Or does anybody know a great auto shop or a plumber or an HVAC or, all these different industries, and they want to get somebody that they can trust? What's the best way that you can do that? They can use whoever is tagged, but the next level that nobody's necessarily doing is investing in the storyline, vision through a lens, the voices of production to tell that story on repeat. So instead of just focusing on just flyers, because all these things you need to an extent. Some are more effective. Right now, video is way effective, where we can now put a message that might be asked 1 billion times to get more people to walk in through your door versus not. Yeah. Like, that's so powerful to be able to make a video, run the ads, go to sleep, answer somebody's question that someone might have, and then they see the 30 people on the thread, but you're the only person running video content that has answers to those questions.
It's like, I've seen the most business happen through connecting over the simplest thing, right? For example, maybe we have the same pair of sneakers, right? We're from the same part of town. But imagine if you could tell your story like that to millions of people and then filter the people that are already willing to connect with you. So not only are you bringing in more clientele, you're filtering the clientele that wants to work with you. And that pays way more than someone being assigned to you. Imagine you're a personal trainer, right? And you work at a gym and they assign people that you should train, right? Right. But imagine you promoting yourself through social media and people seeing your progress and seeing who you are as a person and being like, I love this individual. Can you please train me? Now imagine what kind of client you have as compared to maybe just working for a corporation, right? So 100%. It's insane. It's not only the influx, it's also the quality of clientele that you can get. Right. And so that's how businesses are going to thrive.
100%. So, and you can tell a story. That's the thing. You can tell your story, and your story is you don't have to have everyone, but your story told is going to attract certain demographic of people that you want. Like, I reached out to a HVAC company here in the Valley, and they are veteran owned. And so I was one of the first. I was like, yo, we need to do some type of production, specifically letting people know that you're veteran owned, and you're going to get the market of people that specifically are interested in getting their service done by a family-owned, locally owned, veteran-owned company. Yeah. So if you can put those tangibles out there, same thing we did with Anthony and a bunch of other different productions, like, you're going to be able to get the market of person that you want versus, why aren't these leads converting? Because that's a whole other aspect. People are like, why is this not converting? Well, people don't really, like, I purposely like all of the home service stuff because that's what I would love to advertise for.
Yeah.
Is to get more advertisements on like Facebook, but they all look the same. They all look the same. Unless we've been behind their production of advertising for them, they all look the same.
Yeah.
And so this is the gap. This is why the voice production is so important. This is why our demand, this is why it's so important for them to invest. Not to pay, like, it's bigger than paying us. It's bigger than that. It's to help you own your market, be top of mind. When people think of HVAC, are they thinking of you or are they thinking of this person? Because people don't necessarily know they need to get these things done until it's like the most extreme scenario or it's an emergency. But if there's, in this case, if I need a videographer and I find Marcos and I find Isaac giving value, like, this is the lens that I use to do this.
Yep.
Like, oh, I need to get
videos going.
I need to get this lens because Isaac told me to. Oh, by the way, maybe I should call him for a consulting call. Maybe I should have him help me set it up. Now you're top of mind.
That's what I've been doing on my Instagram at Isaac Martinez. I made videos where I literally tell people what to kind of get for their camera, like an ND filter. When I made that video, it ended up getting a lot of views because, again, it's something of value. It's something that people can get to, like, know how to make something look better with an ND filter. And then I just did another one on your frame rate. Like, that's something for every just camera person or filmmaker needs to know is your frame rate.
And guess what? Somebody's probably watched that since we've been conducting this right now. And you made it, you edited it once, and it's on repeat. It's probably been watched like at least 50 times, 100 times a day. Who knows? Maybe somebody reaches out, maybe not. But the message is out there, and it's your message.
Yeah, and like I get some of my friends that like follow me for my video stuff. Like, I've gotten messages where they're like, "Yo, dude, thank you for like telling me about the ND filter. Thank you for telling me how to get clearer images." And like,
that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah, it's what it's all about. Just giving value, and that's
voice of production.
That's what we're here to do, bro. Like I love helping people out on like trying to make it in video work or just know more about video too. Because I mean, that's just what people want to do. It's their passion. It's my passion. That's what I kind of learned on my own, and now I have the ability to kind of teach people through just my experiences. So
100%.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing, man.
Compound effect. And this is just the first episode, guys. Like, that's the thing. We got so much to be able to layer onto this as far as like specific topics in terms of value. And those that are watching this, like, again, the oxygen of your feedback as far as how you consuming this and what you think of this, like, leave it in the comments as far as on the long format of this, and tune into all of our individual pages as far as Wealthy Thinking 101, Isaac Martinez 11, and then
Marcos DM9. Moves by Marcos Fitness.
And most importantly, the voice of production, because this is just one fraction of what we're going to be responsible for as far as giving value and detail and the perspective of those behind the camera, because so many people are all behind the camera. Not everybody wants to talk, but those that are willing, but they don't necessarily know, like, you're going to learn a lot of how to conduct yourself, whether you hire them or you find somebody that might mirror them in the local area, because that you need to have some type of production in your life to help you go where you want to go. You need to have a message out there. Do you have to make it to make money? No, not necessarily. But as far as being able to tell a story, that right there is going to have eyeballs, and those eyeballs will be able to go in a direction. The question is, what direction you want that to go in? Is it for your business? Is it for the legacy for as far as the family to come along? Like, oh, this is what Isaac and Marcos and Shawn was doing when they were, in 2023. But most importantly, if you're a business owner, you have the ability to do this. If you don't know where to start, it starts with the voice of production. It starts with us, and we can go ahead and be that compass to condense that time and increase speed to help you get where you want to go. And this is what this is for, because they're on here, and we've got way more individuals that are killing it. Because one thing I want you guys to look forward to, and that's when we interview, there's a lot of people that are destroying it, not just from filming, but there's people that they understand it. They've hacked it.
Yeah.
They're people that have used social for their business, like Darrell. Like I was telling you, like he's gonna be somebody that we have on. Him and this girl have they have their glitter company. I don't know the name, WC Glitter, Witchcraft Glitters. We'll put it on there as far as the app, and they've got reels hitting 50 million, 20 million, 30 million views, helping them produce, business organically from the internet. And they haven't even ran advertisements. And those are examples of what people are doing with online business. They have a Shopify store. They have glitter, how they position it, and they sell it, and it's something that they've created, as well as the companies that we work with that we probably haven't even necessarily kept track of that have profited or they've benefited off of some type of production. So that is what's to come, and that's what you'll be able to learn from, not only from us, like we're just a vessel. We're just one piece of the puzzle. There's going to be a lot more that learn from. Like I got the one guy I'm going to interview. He's the social media manager for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I reached out to him.
I think you
Cam
told me about
Shooter.
that. Yeah.
Yo, nice,
He
man.
said he's down. He's like, once the season's over, so that's somebody to put into the realm of things.
That's amazing, man.
That's what I'm saying. I just asked. I was like, yo, like I would love to see how you got the gig, because there's so many people. Like,
Dude,
on
everybody's
TikTok.
story is so. I love like podcasting, like me being behind the camera because I film many podcasts too.
Yep.
And that's what I love is like hearing other people's story because like beforehand you don't really know them, and then after the podcast it's like you have a whole different view of just that person, and like you start to know them a lot better when you filmed Caitlin, I think.
Yeah.
At 7th Level, dude, her story too, like the way she kind of came up.
yeah,
bro.
Kayla,
Like,
Kayla.
Everybody, yeah, Kayla. Everybody's story, bro. Like it's so.
You'd be surprised. You'll
bro.
go from meeting somebody and being like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" to being like,
I rock with that.
"Oh my god,
Yeah, and
I
like
love your story," and you feel inspired. So the voice of production is not only the voice of production. The voice of production is also the power of listening.
of people's story. Yeah.
That's all we're doing, right? We're listening, we're learning from each other, and becoming powerful, working together. So production is many powers in one, man.
Dude, I love
That's
it.
all I'm gonna say.
It's a double-edged sword, and like I said, this is the beginning of something great to really, because like, there's so few people that do it, but just
All right, this is
like,
bothering me. Hold up, dude. You got to be a little closer to the mic, bro. Come on. The audio.
Yeah.
Your audio is probably not gonna be that
He
great.
said, I gotta
bro.
make sure.
Hey,
the
You know,
audio's
I got to
clear.
bring some of my own
Respect.
taste.
I like how he
Respect.
told you at minute 55, bro.
Right.
Nah, I'm just
Right.
How long are we, Martin?
We're at 56.
Okay.
Oh, what? That was close, bro.
Dude,
Get
that
that-
was fire.
Get that
Time does
internal-
actually
get
go
that
fast
internal
when you're on
clock
the
in
other
you,
end,
brother.
bro.
We have so much to talk about.
Dude,
That's what I'm
time
saying,
so
bro.
goes because like I'm in front of him. I'm like an hour mark, and I'm like, damn, an hour.
It's not enough, dog.
Dude, I drank
But,
a C4. I'm ready for another 2 episodes.
being on the other side, it's like shit. That hour goes by fast, dude. Because we got a lot to talk
Honestly, man.
This
Yeah.
for you, that's gonna help you guys grow even more. Like imagine let's put this inspiration out there. Let's inspire more. There's people that do it, but imagine the people that might be watching it. Just you might be somebody that just likes to stay behind the camera. But what is it gonna do for you to be instead of just behind the camera, but in front of the camera? I'm sure your perspectives are gonna continue to grow and grow as you do this. And continue to go ahead and provide service to help you be a better creator or be able to tell a story better or be but in the perspective of people that you're working with to provide a better service.
about.
Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
this compound of this is going to take us to the unknown.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that of advice just that I can give, just to kind of end it off for me, is like, if you want to get into something, whether it be like just film or just whatever business you want to get into, like learning off someone that's already in the game is probably one of the best ways to do it, or just learning off YouTube and doing all that. Because I did a podcast with Brent Daniels, and like this thing that he said always stuck with me is like, if you do something alone, completely by yourself, it'll take you about 7 to 10 years to accomplish or to start rolling the ball. And like when I heard that, I was like, bro, I'm literally 8 years in, and I'm like, my ball is starting to roll. And it's like, but then he said, but if you find someone that's doing what you're doing or doing what you want to do, and you learn from them, you can cut that time from 7 to 10 years to 2 to 3 years. And it just it's so much better because you just get that experience from someone that's been in the game so much longer, and you learn from them, you learn from their mistakes, and it's just, you just advance so much quicker.
And this is what podcasting is going to do for us. Because like when you
Absolutely.
podcast, you learn. Like think about Joe Rogan. Again, objectively, anyone that I say, whether you like it or not, here's the thing: you can learn from many people. I was going to make a quote that's going to be fire. I'm going to say this on film. Too many people mistake receiving a message. They think they have to receive a message from somebody that they like. Like the message that you need to receive isn't always going to come from somebody you like or you dislike. The kryptonite people have
Right.
is that they feel like they need to hear something or it's supposed to come from somebody that they have a liking to. There's a lot of things that people need to hear that they close their ears to and they miss it because they don't like that person. This person did that, and I see that as a common denominator. But Joe Rogan. Like,
Be
that's
open-minded.
a smart guy. Think about all the people he's interviewed. He's done like 3,000 podcast episodes. Like, imagine his brain. Like, you're a smart guy objectively. If you just made a podcast and you just ask people questions, 3,000 episodes for like 5 to 10 years.
Most powerful man in the world.
That's
like
crazy.
it's crazy, dude.
So like imagine what we're gonna get with this, as far as like listening and as far as asking each other questions and being better to just, especially from a directing standpoint, because like even for me, like I learned so much from you guys. Like that's why I like putting the group together. You guys be geeking about gear, and I just see a story. I'm like, is it gonna make the story fire? I'm like, that's all I need to know. But
I'm
I can
excited.
appreciate it though. I'm like, he's like this A7. He's like, dude, this camera shoots 8K, bro. I'm like,
Dude, you just gotta fucking just start is the best thing, dude. I started in 2015. I knew nothing about editing. I knew nothing about filming. I knew nothing about nothing. You can watch my first YouTube videos. My first YouTube videos weren't even like they weren't even good to be uploaded, but I uploaded them because like I knew I just needed to start making videos. Like
You gotta just start sometimes, man. You gotta just start.
Gotta just do it. Like it'll turn out bad, but the more you do it, the better practice you'll get, and the better you 100% will get if you just keep on doing it.
right?
Yeah, and another thing is like,
Wrap us up.
learn to appreciate being around the right people, right? And don't have the mindset that this person's gonna make it. They're at such a high spot, and I'm not. Stop comparing yourself. The pie is big. There's enough for everybody in this world. So accept when someone's better than you. Soak up knowledge from them. Learn how you can give value. Be a good listener, and never stop growing.
100%.
That's all I gotta say.
We all make each other sharp. And again, this is the voice. The voice is going to be here. And make sure you go ahead and subscribe to everyone here and watch this compound, because this is something that I necessarily saw in the space as far as the voices of production. And there's different layers. But in this case, we've got those behind the camera, in front of the camera. And be tuned to the next episode.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
It's going to ramp
Been
up.
a pleasure.
Yeah.
Let's
And
go.
that's it.
go.
That's a wrap.
Bro.